Welcome everyone to the special Quit Stalling Netflix Iron Fist review. With me today, I got my bro and my bro. So we got James on my left. What's up, James? All the way from the East Asia, the home of Xiaolong Bao Taiwan.
Wow.
Which is slightly appropriate today. And below me, sans video, but of course ever present with his beautiful voice, the aggro crag of geeks, Jay Sanchez himself. How you doing, Jay?
Hey man, that really stuck.
Oh, dude, of course it's gonna stick because you really are the aggro crag of geeks.
We'll see if I can keep the title this week, or if the United something wins it back.
the CIS the
CIS.
First it was the okay. So let's get straight to it, guys. We're gonna talk about Iron Fist today, and I want to get your initial impressions. Let's start off with James. James, what did you think of Iron Fist?
Well, overall, I enjoyed it. I mean, again, I'm coming from the standpoint of a more casual comic book person or fan, I think is a proper word. I'm not the guy that shows up on Free Comic Book Day, but
What are you trying to say, man?
No, I'm just saying that that's not me.
Are you saying that it's bad to be the guy who shows up on Free Comic Book Day?
Not at all. I'm just trying to make people who listen know where I stand in my knowledge of comic books and how adapt or I am towards them.
And I'm just making sure where we stand, Jay.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I ain't saying nothing against it, Jay. I love it. You know I love it. But I'm just, in terms of comic books, I would say I am a casual fan, just to put it simply. I enjoyed the show very much, just because I like what Netflix has done with the Marvel series that they've picked up, all except for Jessica Jones, and I've gone on that again. Not a fan. But I liked Iron Fist. It wasn't my favorite of the four they've done so far, but I liked it. I enjoyed it because I like the character. As you guys both know, I'm big on martial arts, so
Same.
I thought that it was really cool to have a very martial arts heavy and show. More so than even, let's say, how Daredevil does it. Daredevil's just kind of rock'em sock'em robot style. This is actually technique. It's things that I know, and it was fun. It was fun to watch, and I think that's why I liked it. So overall impression, I liked it, and it was definitely enjoyable.
All right. Initial impressions, Jay.
Well, for me, I'm coming from a different background as James. Like, one of my favorite comic books from the early 2000s was Iron Fist by Brubaker and Fraction.
Yeah.
Like I was tweeting about it nonstop when the show was gonna come out. I'm like, guys, you have to read like the Immortal Iron Fist run of Brubaker and Fraction. So I've read it before and I really loved it. But the thing was, right before it came out, there was this like critique that came out that it was a horrible show. So going in, I was expecting it to be like decent, but it lowered my expectations, and I think it was even better than what I expected it to be. Though I still wouldn't say that it was great.
Okay, yeah, I kind of agree with you. So let me throw up my Danny Rand cosplay here real quick.
By the way, there's like a little like metronome sound thing happening.
Yeah, I'm hearing like a little pop every now and then. Are you guys getting that?
Yeah.
No?
Then we know who it's coming from.
It's James.
No, I hear like chopping, like someone's chopped on the chopping board in the background.
Yeah, like someone has two bamboo sticks and they're just sitting it together now.
Yeah, kling. You know, that's what I'm hearing. So, and I bet the Philam can do it better than both y'all. So I'm just saying, that's my.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Are we turning this into a pissing contest already? Are we doing this?
Heritage cultural winner, Bay Area, 2000 and 2002 to 2004.
So overcompensating is Filipino-ness.
Number one out of two.
No, I'm a full half, so I gotta put as much of pride as I can into that.
Yeah. No, reminds me of a friend I knew who won second place in like a marathon in like his age division.
Okay, and how many were in his age division?
There were only 2 people in his division.
You don't have to say how many people are in your division.
Yeah, that was his mistake. He was like, "Man, I won second place. Like, out of how many people? 2." Like,
And he came like an hour behind. All right. So my initial impressions of Iron Fist were better than most people said. Still not that good of a show, but has promise. That before we delve into more of that, I do want to say just at the really start of the show, I do want to say it is Fred Armisen's best role so far. I love him as Ward Meacham. I'm just kidding. No, but
I was like, what?
did you guys like the whole time I couldn't not see Ward Meacham as angry Fred Armisen. You know, like that's all I had whenever I'd see him. So yeah, pretty much Fred Armisen with daddy issues. So regular Fred Armisen. I think we should start off with the characters.
Okay.
And then we'll get into some more of the story. James, what did you think of the characters of the show?
Based on how I know Danny Rand and how I know Iron Fist, again, definitely not as extensive as Jay, but I knew enough that I kind of expected a different approach as to how they would have portrayed him. He started off, he gave a vibe like, I'm a bum, you know, but I'm all happy-go-lucky. Like, I didn't like how he just came back and he was just expecting everything to be all chill. Like, I expected a better way to introduce Danny Rand coming back to New York. Like, they kind of just made it off like, he's a crazy guy, but then he's not crazy because he's Danny Rand, you know, and I don't know. But in terms of that character, I thought that's how they represented Iron Fist himself. The Meachams, like I said earlier, I told you guys off air, I'm a LinkedIn connection with Ward Meacham. It's always good to have CEOs on your LinkedIn, you know, and Rand Enterprises is a pretty influential company, and maybe he'll give me a recommendation on.
You're totally a member of the hand, James.
Yeah, you know, the right hand.
Yeah.
I totally
just like you'd be in the Cobra Kai.
I would be, man. That movie's not about Daniel's son.
Yeah.
No,
I knew. See, we're gonna get into this so much, but like, I'm hearing that click again. Hold on, real quick, guys. Same. Before we move on, I'm gonna stop the recording real quick.
We laughing and then it's never gonna stop. We gotta end the call now.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Just
I'm gonna recall you guys. Right? I'm gonna recall you. 1 second.
Sorry, James. I can't hear you. Can you go closer to the screen?
I'm good, bro.
I wish I was still recording when you said that. you just saw him go like.
Like I
Went 3 seconds. 3 seconds before he got it.
Okay.
It's been a long day, man.
We're back in 3,
Long day.
2, 1. All right, Jay. What are your thoughts on the characters on Iron Fist?
Wait, that kind of came out of nowhere from our break.
What break? What break?
Give me a few seconds to think about this.
Okay.
I'm at the same exact spot. I mean,
Okay, so I'm gonna go off real quick. In terms of the characters we see at the start, I was really frustrated by how Joy, especially Joy, was so flip-floppy in the first few episodes. There was no continuity, and I think I told this to one of my friends in real life, and I mean, you guys are my friends in real life, but one of my friends that I've talked to in person. I'm just doing the show at home and alone, and I'm not really talking to anyone. No, so I was talking to my friend, and I was saying like this is something that would happen in real life. People flip-flopping around because of emotions, but it doesn't make for good TV. And it could have worked, but the way they wrote Joy Meacham and the way they wrote Ward at the end and their dad, it just got confusing. I mean, there are ways where you can do it and you could pull it off, but the way they did it on the show was just lacking so much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. That Eminem scene was heartbreaking.
Which Eminem scene when he was burying his dad?
No, the one where like
Oh, the
that's when Joy
M&Ms.
realizes for the first time that he's really Danny.
I was thinking
It's
of
like,
like,
oh my god, he took the brown M&Ms out. This is Danny.
it was so frustrating though, because like, yeah, man, yeah. So, that and the whole Danny being still a man-child, or a man-child. It could have worked, but it didn't. It just ended up being confusing and frustrating. The fact that he took the technology really fast, but for some reason everything else was still bizarre to him. It was a frustrating thing for me. Jay, give me your thoughts.
I have to agree with you because like if we did the show where Danny was still in Kunlun,
Mm-hmm.
then it could have worked. The characterization he had could have worked.
Mm-hmm.
Because he just got into the accident, he just he's alone and he's in a city where everything is new and strange, then that whole thing could have worked. But then, dude, it's been 15 years. So like, I really doubt that the character would be like that. Like if he was already the Iron Fist, then he would have been like cool and zen, right? That's who Danny is. Like
Exactly.
like what I was telling James, like if you've seen Danny in Ultimate Spider-Man, like he's chill. He's Prince Zuko. I mean, the voice of Prince Zuko. Why are you zooming into my face? But
don't like the attention, do you? Don't like the attention,
like
do you?
it's no, I don't. No. Yeah, it's really weird for me. Like yeah, but I don't blame Finn Jones though. Like I really think that it's a showrunner's problem.
Mm-hmm. Like you think that if he was given a better script and a better director, he would have done a better job at being Danny Rand? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, and even if he's kind of like the Brandon Roth of the MCU right now. I think. Like I think he could have been great, but he just had a bad script.
Yeah. I agree with how Brandon Routh was not used well. He was his Superman.
Dude, I think he could be better than Cavill, honestly.
Oh, if they gave him a chance, yeah, but they made him too boring. Yeah.
But the thing with Danny another thing with Danny that I did not like is the kung fu.
Okay, go on.
It like if you look at his like when he's centering his chi, it's one set of moves, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then after Bakudo teaches him how to center his chi differently, it's still the same moves.
Yes, exactly. Like
it's like
nothing
come on,
changes.
man. Like it's like we aren't dumb. We notice these things. Right?
I totally agree.
So I think they should have given like Finn Jones more time to study kung fu because I think I remember someone saying that he only had like 3 weeks to prepare.
That's not time to study kung fu.
And come on, man, like Iron Fist is second only to Shang-Chi, right? Or even like they're close to the same level actually. Like Shang-Chi's the master of kung fu in the Marvel universe.
Well, so sorry, real quick, you mentioned he only trained for 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, 3 weeks or 3 months, but
either way,
yeah, like just a little bit of time, like before the show.
Well, when you say 3 weeks, though, it's really impressive what he does for 3 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
I was on the case for him looking super stiff, but if he had 3 weeks to train, then he did
It's
an
pretty good, right?
amazing job. Yeah.
Yeah.
3 months though,
No.
you're starting to get
Feel
to that
prep.
point where, it should have been a little better. But yes, that short amount of time is definitely not enough to learn a martial art to the point where you
Yeah.
could be considered an Iron Fist.
Yeah, but most people like have like 6 months, maybe 6 months to a
Yeah.
year for like a film. And a
Yes,
film is like an
yeah.
hour and a half to 2 hours, but a
And this
show
is a whole
is like
season. Yeah.
yeah. So dude, you need more than 3 months for sure.
Yeah, definitely unfair for Finn Jones. We talked about Bakudo just now. Again, a character wasted. I think that the turn from Gao, who I'll get to in just a little bit, going from Gao being the main villain to Bakudo was severely lacking in terms of emotional depth. I felt more for Davos than I did for Bakudo, because Bakudo just ended up
Yeah.
being like this dude that trained people. I didn't feel that he was an end game player, and
Yeah,
it
same.
got really
He
weird.
didn't give the big bad vibe. He didn't give a big bad vibe at all.
Yeah, and
No,
then
yeah.
it went on to how what's his name, Meacham, Faramir Meacham ended up having to be a big bad as well, and it gets confusing. The plot is too diluted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they could have stuck to one storyline and like focused on that. Similar to some of the other Netflix shows that they did, especially like with Luke Cage, how they had one big bad and then they switched over to another big bad that could have been in a completely different season, but they just kind of fit it in one season. I thought they could have. I agree with you that they could have expanded on it and made the transition a little bit more meaningful, for lack of a better way.
We talked about that on one of the podcasts where at episode 6 with Luke Cage, and even with Daredevil with the Punisher, that middle of the season felt like the end, and it feels awkward picking up the rest of the season so soon.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and here with the story progression, it does have a weird up and down, and it gets confusing. It doesn't lend anything to the story.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So.
I
Jay.
really agree that the guy was not a big enough villain to carry a show. Yeah. But I completely, like, to me it makes sense that Madame Gao and Davos are saved for another season. It completely makes sense. Because
Okay.
they're so good that it's not worth it wasting them on Danny Rand's introduction season. It's not worth it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
The thing though with Gao is, she was already saved to be a big bad at the I think it was the first season of Daredevil where she disappeared.
Yeah.
And
first
I felt like the buildup was so good that she should have been, the first time she's used, especially how she was kept in the shadows for the first few episodes of Iron Fist. She should have had a bigger impact, and she should have had a more menacing, lasting note in Iron Fist. But she kind of just fizzles right away as soon as you get more of her, and it's such a waste because the actress is so talented. She really gives you that sense of menace, but then again the script fails.
She's tired because she's old.
Yeah, you actually don't know it, but like she's not Chinese.
What?
No, I'm joking. She's not good of an actress.
Okay.
But for real, man, like the next season should be like I already built it up in my head. Like it could be big if they go away from New York for a while. So Madame Gao could be freaking amazing in it.
Do we know if Gao is going to play a role in the Defenders? Is there any news on that?
Unless she's best friends with Sigourney Weaver, I don't think so.
Okay,
True.
okay, because Sigourney Weaver is the lead villain. Yeah. Okay. Story impressions aside from my thoughts on how the season is so uneven and confusing. Jay.
I don't like the things they've done with some of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Like for me in my head, if you've read the Iron Fist comic I've been talking about since forever, there is an idea that there isn't just one city of heaven. There are 7 capital cities of heaven,
That's
and
right.
every city has a champion.
Okay.
For me, when Madame Gao said that she suggested that she has seen and has come from Kunlun, where Iron Fist comes from, it's not awesome because, like, in my head, I was hoping that she would be Crane Mother, and Crane Mother comes from Kunzi, a different town.
Yeah.
So it kind of like lessens the setup of the 7 cities, right? But
Yeah.
at the same time, she mentioned that she's met other Iron Fists before Danny.
Yeah. So she's old.
She's old, but that also adds to the story of the 7 cities because there is a reason why Kunzi is going after the Iron Fist, and that's all because of the previous Iron Fist because he did something bad.
Previous meaning before Danny.
The one before Danny, the one in the
Okay.
1900s, 1910s.
You think that's the
Yeah.
one we saw in the short video that was held up to Danny's face in the show? The one in the
Yeah,
black and white footage?
that's Orson Randall, man.
Orson
Oh.
Randall, yeah, I couldn't remember
Yeah.
the name. That's the one.
And
That's pretty
like
awesome.
Orson Randall ties in with Danny's dad, so like they could even add to the story, make it a bit different, and say that they were flying there to go to Kunlun because Danny's dad has been there before. That would make everything
yeah,
so
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah,
That's,
exactly.
That's part of the comic backstory of the Rands, or
Yeah,
Danny's dad in particular, where he's been to Kunlun. He saved who did he save in Kunlun again?
he could have been the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
In the comics, the dad
his
was the
brother
one who
betrayed
beat
him or something,
Davos.
right?
Yeah, it wasn't Danny who beat Davos. It was his dad.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
but
So-
Davos tried to steal the Iron Fist power anyway.
and he became a Steel Serpent. Am I right?
And
Yeah, but that's with the help of Crane Mother because Crane Mother lost her champion because of the previous Iron Fist.
Man, see, there's so much potential in the story, and they focused on all
Right?
the wrong things in this Netflix season.
My thing though is everyone was complaining about how slow it was at the start.
Mm-hmm.
But
Which it was.
honestly, who knows Iron Fist?
yeah, it's not. He's not really a mainstream kind of
He's not.
hero.
Yeah, but again, you could have written it so much better. The first 3 episodes could have been condensed into one.
Yeah.
By reducing the flashbacks alone, we got
Mm-hmm.
we got the same flashback like 30 times in the first 3
Yeah.
episodes.
More flashbacks than Family Guy in that.
Exactly. And we get quality flashbacks in the later episodes, and by then it's too late because you just keep thinking that they're going to show the same flashback as the start.
Yeah.
You know?
Mom, no.
Oh,
Basically-
that's low blow.
Yeah. Basically, Danny has a lot of really, really good supporting characters, and
Mm-hmm.
we've seen glimpses of it. Like you saw Lei Kong, the Thunderer, the guy who trained him.
Oh yeah.
Davos' dad. Yeah, that was awesome. Like,
He was the one that was in his
Imagine-
head during the trials, right?
yeah, he was. Imagine how great it would be if we had a whole season in Kunlun, dude. Just like all the champions of the 7 cities together. You would have Fat Cobra. You'd have Bride of 9 Spiders, who made an appearance in the show. She was there.
Yeah, that was her, right? Bride of
The
Ben
girl
Spiders,
with the
like you
spiders. Yeah.
said. The one with all the sheets hanging around in that weird
Yeah.
fight scene.
You also have Dog Brother number 1. You have Tiger's beautiful daughter. You have the Prince of Orphans, which is awesome. Imagine how great that would be if all the champions just got together and fought, man.
See, that's
Be
what I was
crazy.
hoping season 1 would be. Is it'd be set in Kunlun, teasing a return to New York, but instead we kind of
It's-
got a bit of a
yeah.
reverse.
Well,
I
because
think
they
I
defenders. They
yeah,
can't
because they're trying to build it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, other than building it up for defenders, it's better that you go with New York first because you have to see who Danny Rand is. And for me, you don't get that as much in if you go with Kunlun.
Okay.
You don't get the origin as much.
All right.
Excuse me.
We're talking about great warriors in the Iron Fist universe, and I think I think that this dude right here, the Drunken Master, was definitely one of the highlights of the season.
Yeah.
I just wish it was a non-speaking role.
Yeah, because that British accent threw me the heck off, man.
Yeah, same.
Like,
He's a guard. He's a
Uh-huh.
guard in mainland China, and he has a Western accent.
yeah, a far northwestern accent.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, half breeds unite. You know, he's half also, and I gotta respect that. He just
Don't get me wrong, James. If I was into other men, this dude would definitely be near the top of my list.
guapo niya kasi.
And he's got that swagger, man, and the way he
Yeah,
talks.
look at him.
It's okay, guys. Go lang.
Hey, we're just secure enough with our sexuality that we can talk about other handsome men.
And
One love, guys.
well, he actually points out one thing that threw me off a little with Danny is the curly hair. Yes, it looks good on Finn Jones, but I always pictured Danny Rand to have straight hair. Is that just me? You guys? I don't know. Is that,
Because
that's
he's
me?
always been drawn with
That's
straight
Jason.
hair, I think. But
Okay.
I don't. It's not that big of a deal for me.
Okay.
Like there are
So-
bigger things that could be
Okay.
different that I would complain about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you, Jay, real quick about the Drunken Master. Is he in the comic lore?
Apparently he is, but like I barely heard anything because like when Gao came along, she was like she called him a name, and apparently that name is a comic book character. But
Okay.
yeah, that's what threw me off. Like I think they were
He's
like
a
they were
defender of
really.
something.
It's like they were really trying to do that thing. I think that's why they gave him a speaking line and he had all that dialogue about Danny messing up. I think they were trying to say that this guy is from the Mystical City.
Okay, yeah. I did get that feeling.
Good, because I didn't. I was just
Oh,
like,
really?
what is this guy talking about? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like it was too quick,
Mhm.
and what he was saying was like, it was a good fight scene. So you're like, okay, like I'm watching these people fight. Like
Yeah.
some weird minor dialogue is not gonna go over very very well.
Yeah.
Diba? Like if they wanted to establish him as a non-Earth character, then they should have done a better job.
Okay. Yeah, I kind of
yeah.
get where you're coming from. Going back real quick to Danny Rand and his look. I love that he wears a hoodie. Actually, two hoodies now that I saw that fight with Drunken Master that I own. I still wish that he showed up in the traditional Iron Fist garb as is in his original story. He could dress like a hobo a couple of days after, but coming into New York, he should have been in some form of traditional Iron Fist garb. At least wear
Some
it.
green,
at
some
point.
green and yellow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
His-
I
Sorry, James,
sorry.
go. No, you go.
Pakipot naman tong dalawa.
Go. No, but at one point did he get his garb that was impervious to magic that came from the Ancient One? Because wasn't that the green one?
I don't think so because all the Iron Fists have had that green one.
Okay, but if that's the case, I'm fine with him being kind of hobo-ish because if he would, I mean, yeah, he would fit in New York, coming in some weird green flamboyant outfit. But I think that how they portrayed him as he ran away rather than he left as a defender, he must have just picked up clothes along the way. He struggled. He didn't have any money to fly back to New York. He probably just hitchhiked his way back. He had to kind of blend in. Wearing that traditional garb wouldn't really make sense. So I think I'm okay with it.
Okay.
I would have liked
Jay,
to see
thoughts?
it. Yes.
I would have liked him to be in a gi of some sort.
I mean,
Because that's not so strange, man. In New York, you get people of different like races and styles. So
Yeah.
seeing someone in a gi in New York is just like seeing someone who's a Buddhist. Like, it's not something strange.
Yeah, and if we got Daredevil to wear the devil costume in his first season at the very end, we could have gotten Danny Rand to wear some form of gi, some form of traditional Iron Fist costume.
Yeah.
At least give him like that full head bandana thing. Like,
yeah, that's so cool.
right?
I love it.
That at the very least, they could have done, but.
I want a bandana with eye slits. That's cool.
That would have differentiated him from Daredevil. He had eye slits.
Because you could see.
Exactly.
Daredevil doesn't need eye slits.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. I want to get into one more topic before we give our final impressions.
Okay.
Because there was some controversy coming in.
We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. There was some controversy coming in where they said the show was, a lot of people on the internet, on the intertube said the show was bad because they chose a white actor and it was whitewashing. Obviously, as Jay will point out in just a little bit, it is because they're uninformed. Danny Rand is a character that not only fails to save himself, which goes counterproductive to the whole argument that he's a white savior of an Asian race, which is typical of Hollywood. But at the same time, he's meant to be a gaijin of sorts. He's meant to be an outsider of sorts, which makes the fact that he's the Iron Fist so weird to everyone else in that universe. So I want to get into this and ask your opinions on the whole controversy and how it affected people's perception of the show in general.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so...
Do you want to go first, James?
Oh, yeah. So,
Yeah, because mine's going to be a little shorter.
Okay, go.
Probably. I think that...
James, be careful. You're part white, so...
Hey, but honestly, I don't think that... I agree with the whole uninformed thing. I mean, even me, who doesn't really know Iron Fist as extensively as let's say Jay, knows that Iron Fist was a white boy. It's coming from the source, and that's my interpretation of it. The comic could be a little bit more towards whitewashing because when it came out, they were trying to probably brace it off of a Bruce Lee more. They took that kind of martial artist stance, but that's fine. That's the comic. Back then, everyone was racist,
Yeah.
And if we're following the source material, then Danny Rand was a white dude. And that's it. So stop complaining that it's, Hollywood is whitewashing. Complain about Ghost in the Shell. That's whitewashing. Don't complain about this shit.
And, give us an original Asian character if that's what you really want.
Yeah, if you want an Asian character, write an Asian character. Make an Asian hero. You don't get those. You get Asian supporting characters. But Asian actors... Yeah, it's true.
What? All right.
Green Hornet, man. I mean, come on. You get Asian supporting characters who are better. Kato's awesome.
Kato is freaking awesome.
Kato should have had the starring roles. Bruce Lee. Come on.
All right. Jay, let's hear your thoughts on this whole thing.
I've gotten into an argument about this on Twitter before. But...
Now you have a platform where they can't reply.
I know, right? It's not like I'm gonna read the comments anyway. But for me, I believe that there is no better casting than the casting that Marvel has done. Like I'm a believer in Marvel's casting department.
Okay.
And I say that because all the changes that Marvel has done, that's why I love Marvel Studios. Not the Marvel films, because you'd have X-Men, which fails me. I hate X-Men films. Yeah. You have Fantastic Four films, which I hate. Even the Spider-Man films, to some extent, frustrate me. But the purely Marvel Studios films, I love them because when they make a change that makes the film better. They make a change that doesn't ruin the essence of the character and the story. Like, for example, Natalie Portman's character in Thor. She was basically Night Nurse, the same character Rosario Dawson plays. But for the sake of the story, they made her into a physicist, right?
Yeah, yeah. An astrologist.
I think she was the physicist. But what I'm trying to say is
Selvig's assistant.
It made the movie better,
Yeah, yeah.
right? But I feel like changes, like slight changes that don't affect it, it's completely fine. Like it doesn't, as long as it doesn't challenge the essence of the character, then it's fine. Like
Okay.
if you take out the Japanese out of Sunfire, then there's something that's messed up.
Okay.
If you take out the Jewishness of Ben Grimm and Kitty Pryde, which are it's really part of their characters, then that's messed up. But then you'd have characters like Rosario Dawson. Night Nurse is supposed to be white, and she does an amazing job.
Yeah, she really does.
Right? So if you'd have characters who, like, it's not part of who they are, and you can add diversity through them, then I'm all for it.
Okay.
But Danny Rand isn't one of those characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Because for me, Danny Rand being white, actually not even white, just not being Asian.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Being an outsider.
It's a major part of his story. You have this white kid arrive in this mystical city, which is very, very Asian for some weird way. Because maybe the 7 cities in heaven aren't diverse at all because all of them are Asian.
Yeah, exactly.
But like,
sorry, I had so many thoughts. Too many racist thoughts.
Relax, James. But yeah, like, he has to be an outsider. He has to look different completely. Like, it's basically Iron Fist story is a fist out of water story. Right?
I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah.
I love you holding on to that. That's a good one. That's a good.
Yeah, I know. So if you take out the outsider, you have to make him look really, really different because him being an outsider in Kunlun is the major source of his conflict. Like,
yeah.
That's a major source of his conflict with like Davos. Like Davos is like, who's this guy? Like, I was the
where
son
in
of
Asia Davos from?
Yeah, I was the son of Lekong the Thunderer, and I was meant to be the Iron Fist. And here comes this outsider, this guy who isn't us, and he becomes the Iron Fist.
Yeah.
So he has to be different. And then at the same time, when he gets to New York, he's lived a different life. He's also a fist out of water there, right? So
I didn't hear it the first time. I hear it the second time. And now it's funny.
Yeah. So for me, if you take out if you make Iron Fist Asian in an Asian setting, then it gets rid of the outsider status in Kunlun. But he can still be an outsider in New York. The difference is, if you do that, for me, it feels like you're shortchanging the viewers because you're only telling half of the story.
Yes.
So I am completely glad that they went with a white Iron Fist. As an Asian and as a comic book fan, I am happy that they went with a white Iron Fist.
Yes.
Are you playing the Oscars music for him to wrap it up? Like,
no,
you're doing?
No, that's our bed music.
Yeah.
That's our bed music. We've
sounded
had
like
that
you
on the
turned
whole
it-
show.
Yep, but bottom line for me with the Marvel shows, I think that they do add diversity.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
It's you, but you just don't change who a character is. Like, I remember seeing like you know those old Looney Tunes shows.
Which one?
Which one?
Some like the old Elmer Fudd's, old whatevers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Like some of them have blackface or whatever.
Oh,
Like a really racist depiction of
I never noticed.
characters. Yeah, they do. Because it was a product of its time. So like I remember seeing a disclaimer in front of the old shows that would say that like there is a chance that when you watch this cartoon there might be things that you find offensive.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to remember that this cartoon was a product of its time.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we feel that if we remove or change any of these offensive things, it's just like burying it in the past and refusing to admit that it happened.
So
for me,
some strong sentiments, yeah.
Right? So for me, you know, Iron Fist and Luke Cage, they're a product of like Iron Fist was released after the Kung Fu craze. Iron Fist, you guys remember the show Kung Fu?
Yep. Yeah.
With
and
the guy
new
who played
adventures
Kill Bill?
of Kung Fu.
Yeah. He like Iron Fist was created like the year that ended, I think. And Luke Cage, on the other hand, was created during like a whole era of like blaxploitation films.
Yeah, yeah.
So if we like reduce, like if we just change that, it's misrepresenting the story, and at the same time it's burying something, right?
Yeah.
What do you get when you mixed Iron Fist with Luke Cage?
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm so afraid to find out.
Let's close the show.
Johnny Cage.
Okay. More
God.
family friendly than I
Where did you
thought.
think I was going with that? God, you guys are horrible.
No, but you know, like what I'm excited to see, and what I hope still happens. I love the girl who played Colleen Wing, Jessica.
Oh,
yes,
I was
Jessica
about to,
Henwick.
Yeah,
I
Jessica
was gonna
Henwick.
say, we cannot not talk about her.
Yeah. Let's talk about her in a bit. But Iron Fist isn't with Colleen Wing.
Yeah.
Iron Fist's girlfriend is Misty from Luke
Yeah.
Cage. So
I can't wait to see how that resolves.
Come on, let's make that happen, man. Like, let's do it.
Interracial love.
Yeah, I mean, they want diversity. Let's make it happen.
But then again, that's Asian and white too. That's still interracial. But hey.
Yeah, but again,
I know Asian and white. Like, no, Misty is African American, dude.
no, he's talking about Colleen.
Colleen, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though she's British, but she's Singaporean by descent. I love her.
Yeah,
she's
awesome.
no, she was in Force Awakens. That's why I love her.
And she was in
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Game of Thrones. She's an
Sand
excellent.
Snakes.
Ah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's talk about Colleen Wing.
Let's talk about Colleen Wing, and then Claire Temple, and then we'll wrap up with our ratings. Colleen Wing, you know, we kind of objectified her a little bit because she is pretty hot. Her character is extremely strong, and does as much as she can.
How you try to dig back from it.
She does as much as she can, the actress at least, to solidify the fact that Colleen Wing is a strong individual woman, independent woman, and she's not someone that needs rescuing, but at the same time, she allows herself help from Danny and from Claire. You know, she's not a damsel in distress in a traditional sense, but she's way more complex than that. But at the same time, she freaking stabs Bakuto, you know, right through the heart. Was it through the heart or through the sternum? She gets him, dude. She just nails him.
She gets him. Yeah.
Or did she?
Or did she? That's the big question. But I think
when you're dealing with a hand, you'll never know, man. You have to make sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't cut off his head after finding out that that's how you do it.
Yeah, I would have done that. Shit.
Yeah. Davos,
I say that, but I've never cut off anybody's head. But you know, I say it like it's so easy. But then I realize if I'm put in that position,
dude, you would pussy out, James.
I don't know, man.
I would too.
Yeah, same.
If I've seen all that shit, if I've gone through all that stuff, I'd probably be like, honestly, the real type of reaction I'd have would be like how Ward handled his shit. Like that would be me. Like how Ward freaks out. He's just like all the time. I'd be like, that's me. Mm-hmm. I would freak out in this kind of supernatural shit. But anyway, just going back to Colleen Wing, I think that her most defining bits were her cage fights. You know, she definitely was a strong character. She definitely is attractive, but I will go back to her skill as a martial artist. Like that was what made me so attracted to the character, so attracted to her as a person. She is just such a badass. You know, when she would say, she's like, no, bring on 2-on-1. I'm like, damn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, with the cage fight scenes, like it was like one of my favorite Colleen Wing references because she is the daughter of the dragon. That's her thing. And in the comic books, she wears this like all white kind of like fighting suit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
So
Snake Eyes.
I love how they did that. I freaking loved how they did that for the cage fights, and I was like, oh, there it is, she's in white. I love it.
Yeah. Kind of looking back on it though, like it's kind of the worst thing to wear to a cage fight. You get a lot of blood on that, and that's not easy to wash.
Yeah. No, that's how confident you are, man. You don't think you're gonna get dirty.
That's true.
Bleach lang yan.
Bleach hardens the fabric, and no, but yeah, totally. Let's talk about Claire Temple. To wrap things up.
Last thing.
Yeah.
I kind of felt like the cage scenes were weirdly unnecessary, though.
Yeah. Looking back at it, aside from developing how strong she is as a character, it doesn't really push the story in general forward. Yeah, but it was a nice little tidbit.
Yeah, it was awesome, though. It was awesome.
Yeah,
I think it's completely necessary. I agree with your point about pushing the story, but I think it needed to happen.
All right, James.
I needed to see her fight like that.
Because you wouldn't have believed that she was a great fighter otherwise, no.
Oh, no, that's true.
You got to show it.
Yeah. Yeah, she was kind of soft when Bakudo
one
showed
cage
up.
scene would have been enough.
No.
Not like 3.
I agree with that. One big cage scene.
Agree to disagree. It's cool.
Agree to disagree. All right. All right, let's talk about something we can agree on. Claire Temple weaving in and out of all the Netflix series is a good necessity. She ties in the Netflix series with as a common character, and talking about a strong
Danny Rand.
Oh my God.
She sleeps with every main character.
That's true.
She's gonna have something with Jessica Jones eventually. It's just a matter of time. So it's just like, if you want that interracial mocha baby, it's gonna be Claire Temples. It won't be Misty. Sorry, Jay. It'll be Claire Temples.
So Claire Temple's a strong, independent woman.
She's Puerto Rican though. She's not black. Sorry.
Yeah, she's Latina, but yeah, I love how
she played Val in Josie and the Pussycats. She can do it.
She did well as Val, but sorry, I don't mean to bring us back so much because I don't want to push time too much, but I just want to talk about how it's great to have her on every show so far. I thought it'd be lame when I found out she'd be on Iron Fist as well, but she kind of ties things together. She brings humor in Iron Fist, and she is Night Nurse. She does have that crucial role of patching people up, patching the supers up.
There's a weird direction that seems to be happening with her, though.
Oh, go on.
Like I was looking at the forums and stuff, right? And it's kind of like weird how they're setting her up to fight.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they taught her how to,
yeah. Like as you've seen in Jessica Jones, like Trish Walker, Patsy Walker, Hellcat is in the show.
Yep.
And then here comes Rosario Dawson with claws for weapons, right? So it's like, I'm like, what are you doing? No, I don't like that. I want Hellcat to be Hellcat, not Night Nurse to be Hellcat. That's weird.
Yeah.
I really don't want that to happen.
I think they're just making it. I'm hoping they're just making it realistic in a sense that if you've been in enough situations that like she has, you're gonna want to just try and learn how to defend yourself. I'm hoping that's the extent of it. I'm hoping.
But I just really want her to stay as the Night Nurse because it's weird if you go anywhere else with her.
Yeah. All right.
One more thing. I am really, really happy that Hogarth, Trinity from The Matrix, has more screen time. I'm so happy.
Still super underused in my opinion. Underused.
But I think with more Iron Fist, there's gonna be more of her because in the comics, Hogarth is a man, by the way. But then I don't mind them changing it. I love how it's Trinity from. Because, like what we were talking about with the changes, like, some things can be changed, and this is one of them.
That works, yeah.
I love how Hogarth is there, because ever since she's been teased, she's more of a... Hogarth, in general, is more of an Iron Fist character. It's, like, he would help her, would help him. Hogarth would help Danny run Rand.
Oh, okay.
So, like, it really... I love how there was more Hogarth. I just wanted to say that. And
Okay,
I love that
yeah.
they changed the gender. It's better. I love it.
Yeah, Carrie Ann Moss is a great fit for Jay Hogarth.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Okay. I hate to cut us short because I want this to be as compact as possible. Final thoughts before we give our ratings. Let's start with James. James, final thoughts on Iron Fist.
Overall, I mean, I liked it. I thought that.
Wait, James, we can't hear you. Can you go closer to the screen? Because that worked before.
Anyway,
James, go on. Let's wrap up.
Overall, I liked it. I thought it was definitely enjoyable. While there are things that could be fixed, I think for the audience, like the general audience, and that's what's important with these kind of shows, because honestly, if it's not popular to a wider audience, they're not going to keep making them. If it's popular to a very hardcore fan base, while it's awesome, yes, it needs to have enough general appeal that people will pick it up. So I think that in that sense, it did it. I like the way that Netflix has done Marvel, and I'm looking forward to seeing Iron Fist. Excuse me, in Defenders. I think he's gonna have a pretty. I like how he could be in Defenders and Heroes for Hire, like that kind of Heroes for Hire mentality. But we'll just have to wait and see. I think that it left it in a good place, and there's a lot of potential.
All right, sweet. Jay, final thoughts on Iron Fist.
I think that Iron Fist was way better than people made it sound. Though in no way is it great. Like, there are so many problems. But I think that could be fixed with getting a different showrunner. Like, Daredevil had great fight scenes, it had great stories, and I don't see how Iron Fist's fight scenes are not better. Like, Iron Fist should be the best in terms of martial arts.
Yes.
And they really dropped the ball on it.
Yeah.
The casting is great. I really just think that they messed it up.
Right.
Though in no
agree.
way, though in no way is the show bad, and I would still tell people to watch it, just as a way for them to get into the character, so I can tell them to read the Iron Fist stories. Like,
always
honestly.
with your own agenda.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. My final thoughts before I give my rating. I think that Iron Fist had so much potential, and it still does. I agree with you, Jay, that they should get a different showrunner to better flesh out the character, better flesh out all the characters in the story, to have a better progression and a better story arc for the next season. I think they kind of rushed it in a sense that they were trying to set it up for the Defenders as soon as possible so that they could push out the Defenders. And they're working on it at a time frame that maybe they can squeeze these guys in for a cameo or two in the sequel to Infinity War. Who knows? But I think the show, like we've talked about throughout this episode, isn't as bad as people think, but it's still not that good. I think it's a necessity if you want to know everything about the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But sadly, if you're not a completionist, it's something that you can pass on, which I hate saying, because as much as possible, if you're watching Marvel stuff, Marvel Cinematic stuff, I'd want people who watch with me or people I talk to, I'd want them to watch everything. But sadly,
follow the continuity.
Yeah, but sadly, this might be something that people pass on, and I can't really blame them. I can't really blame them. So. I'm going to have the ratings pop up on our screens as we give them. So, Jay, I want to start with you. Out of on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what would you give Iron Fist Season 1?
What's our passing grade?
The usual 6. 6 out of 10 will be passing.
I would have to give it a 6.
Ooh, wow, yeah.
Yeah. It's at the bottom of the MCU barrel for me right now. But while I have the chance, if you want to see better Iron Iron Fist, read Matt Fraction and Ed Brubaker's Iron Fist. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, so true, so true.
Yeah.
All right, James, give me your rating for Netflix's first season of Iron Fist.
I am a little bit more generous than Jay. I'd give it a 7.5.
Ooh, nice. All right. And I will land in between you guys. Oh my. I will be generous, and I think it's purely on the fact that it is a setup to the Defenders, and I like seeing all these heroes on the screen, on any screen. I will give it a 7 out of 10 because I'm just happy we have an Iron Fist show.
Yeah.
It was such a relief to have it. All the frustrating story points. It's that one show that probably will have growing pains, and if they can finally pull it off in the upcoming
It's gonna
seasons,
be so good.
It's gonna be good. So fingers crossed. I'm giving it a 7 with great hope, and that might change to a 6 depending on how the rest of the seasons play out.
Yeah.
So
We can help you
7
write
for
it,
now.
Marvo.
This guy right here. All right, guys. It's
Luke
been a
Cage
pleasure.
Mona, Luke Cage better.
Cage.
Last note.
Oh, go, fire it.
Marvel get more diverse. It's better, but only when it feels organic to the characters.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good note. That's a very good note.
Yeah.
I'll cut that out and put it up on the channel. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. This has been our
Pleasure.
I think our first review in a long time, and our first actual review of something that isn't a Blizzard trailer. So I'm excited to put this up on the YouTubes. Where can the folks at home find you when you're not on a review for Quit Stalling? James.
Yeah, James. Where can we find you, man?
Right up here, actually. Sorry, this one here. Rebel_scum. 1980. That's my Instagram handle. You can also check me out on Snapchat. That's Philam Hero. As I've been completely proud of my mixed heritage this entire show. But yeah, check me out there. I will be hopefully coming back to the Philippines relatively soon, a couple weeks.
And for your fans.
Yeah, I know, right?
Where's your meet and greet, James?
My meet and greet is at SM Bikutan as well as SM Manila.
He promised na, guys.
Follow his Instagram and his Snapchat for more deets at a later date.
Yeah, but check me out online. I post nothing really comic book related, but really it's more about my travels. It's fun stuff though. Check it out.
And Star Wars.
And anything Star Wars. Yeah, Star Wars is probably that's my thing.
All right, Jay, where can the folks at home find you when you're not on a Quit Stalling review?
Usually you'll find me rambling about comic books on Twitter. That's where I've been lately. It's JAnything89. So just hit me up there.
All right, sweet. And if you want to find me outside of the Quit Stalling reviews, you can find me on the Quit Stalling podcast. We record on Mondays. Hopefully soon we'll be recording live. I'm there with my good friend James over here. Sometimes we'll have Jay on whenever he's free. And hopefully we'll have Gallard on soon as well.
Gallard!
Yeah, man, Gallard. If you want to find me on social media, just type in Herald Plays and you'll definitely find me. Instagram, Twitter. I have a YouTube channel. I have a Twitch channel that isn't really that used yet until I get fiber. I've been saying that for a year. And if you want to find more about us, head on over to www.quitstalling.us. We're on Instagram at Quitstalling, Twitter and Facebook, Quitstalling US. We're on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Quitstalling. And get all our podcasts on iTunes, on Stitcher, on Google Play, on iHeartRadio, on Digital Podcast and Pocket Cast. So there's no excuse for you not to listen to the podcasts. Game Bite is also live on Tuesday nights. I do that with Diego Z and our new co-hosts Mick de Guzman and Vince Cabrera. So check that out. Guys, it's been a pleasure. And
Thanks for having us, man.
Oh, man. Tune in for our Power Rangers review coming up pretty soon. So check that out, guys. For Jay, for James, I am Herald Silvestre, and it's been a pleasure. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye.
Fade out.